Hello and welcome to the Danswers podcast. I'm your host, Dan Donohue. It's good to see you folks. How are you? We have a guest. The guest is Alec Flynn. Alec is a friend of mine, a really, really talented comic. Check out Alec's stand-up after you listen to the pod. You got to listen to the podcast first, okay? You got to finish the podcast, like the podcast, comment, subscribe, do that. And then as a little treat for yourself for doing all that hard labor of consuming my media, then take a nice little break and consume Alec Flynn's stand-up because it is very funny. He's such a funny comic. We took a trip up to San Francisco, which we talk about a little bit on the podcast, which was pretty tumultuous. We drove up and back in one day. So we were driving for truly 12 hours in a single day, 6 hours up, 6 hours down. And we really got to know each other. And Alec did about $2,000 worth of damage to his car, which I feel really bad about. But during that car ride, I'm sure it was not worth the $2,000 to Alec, but it was really worth it for me because he's just the kind of guy you can't help but like. There's people like that, and he's just very genuine, incredibly funny, incredibly talented. He is in the New Faces portion of the Netflix Presents portion of Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival, which is happening right now, and it's so well deserved. It's one of those people where sometimes you see someone get picked for something, and you're like, I don't know about that. He's one of the guys where you see and you're like, that's right. That's right, and that's good, and I'm happy to have had him on the podcast. So please enjoy this episode. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and thank you so much. And as always, have a good. Well, I guess I shouldn't say have a good one because you're about to listen to the episode, but enjoy the episode.
Stay at home, can't stay in school.
What is that?
I want to be stereotyped. I want to be classified.
What is that?
I've been listening to a lot of classic punk on Spotify. And that's how a lot of the songs start before the searing guitar riff.
Oh,
so it'll just be like just some young kid going, I want to be stereotyped. I want to be classified.
Mother doesn't hit me enough.
Yeah. I want to be stereotyped. I want to be classified.
Damn, dude. I remember I used to like quote unquote metal. And my friend and his older brother, who were the two guys who got me into everything. Did you? Oh shit! I forgot to turn off the AC.
It's going to be steaming in here, huh?
Yeah, we're getting. Well, it's good. You wore shorts.
I did wear shorts.
I gotta say, you're a man with thigh tattoos. You're only getting more. The thigh tattoos are only growing.
Oh, I know, dude. I'm getting the whole. If only I could take.
We got the thumbnail right there. You're a man, and I really do respect and appreciate this. In the same way, I respect a guy who works out and takes his fucking shirt off.
You have to peel tarp, bro.
Peel tarp because you worked on that. If you're a smart person, here's the thing. We only shame powerful like physically strong people for this because if you're smart and you start talking about smart shit, no one's like, dude, stop showing off. No, they're like, you're awesome. But if I work out a ton and I peel tarp, people are like, oh my God, what a show off. It's like, no, man, I'm not smart. I got jacked to make up for the fact that I'm not smart.
Right.
Let me do this.
I think what you have to do whenever you take your shirt off is also pull out a book.
Oh.
And read at the same time.
Oh, yeah, dude. And then
it would be even better if the book's upside down.
I did that once when I was a kid. Yeah, my dad's friends came over and I was reading an upside down book.
That's a good move.
But that's how you are with the thigh tattoos. Is I don't think I've ever seen you wear pants except for a show.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about stopping that altogether one summer.
You're going full shorts.
Bro, I got this pair of jorts and I'm seriously considering just going jorts and sweatshirt the entire summer.
It's such a good look. It's such a powerful move. It's a brave move.
It's brave.
And I mean that. I think you're very brave.
Trust me, dude, because I think a lot of people, you can either really get them and they're like, I like this guy, or a lot of people go, who's this clown? Who's this joker?
Right. But you'll win them over too, and you're a stand-up comic. You
have to win them over.
Pass there, yeah, you do. You're fighting. Do you feel like you fight it? Because here's the thing: sometimes people will go like, to Matt Rife. Oh, you're a handsome guy. Is it harder? But the thing about you is you're also cool.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Why are you a comic?
Deep insecurities.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's good.
A lot of deep insecurities.
Yeah.
I'd say also just like a lingering feeling that I don't really know who I am.
Sure.
So,
do you think that comes from, because I know you played sports as a kid.
Yes.
Very young you were playing sports.
Yes.
When you're always part of a team, and I've noticed this with a lot of people, you're always part of a team, you know exactly who you are. You know exactly where you fit in. You know where you are in the pecking order.
Yeah.
When that goes away, you are left with kind of this like blank space.
I'd say certainly. I mean,
Yeah.
I felt that when I came back from like Spain. I went to Spain for a study abroad year, as did you,
Very
correct?
cool. Yes.
Ah, a fellow brother from España.
Well, I went to. I actually.
Mi hermano.
I did a study
No,
abroad
is
year.
that son?
You don't even know.
Mi hermano? That's brother. You're my brother.
The study abroad did not take for you.
I used to go to get a haircut, and I would go, hey, Kate.
Oh God, come on,
hold
you could do it.
I remember exactly what it said because I practiced it a bunch. It was, ¿Qué recomiendas para mi peleo?
Oh shit, dude!
What do you recommend for my hair? And they would just say something in Spanish, and I would
Yeah.
go, vale. So, which means okay.
And then they shave a fucking mohawk
Brother,
into your head.
I used to have the highest I had a fucking Johnny Bravo haircut. Full
Shut
blown.
up. No.
And, bro, I was rocking in Spain at my peak Spainness.
Oh,
it was
man.
late November. I'm walking around Madrid
Yeah.
listening to Boots of Spanish Leather by
Oh, I'm sailing away, my own true love.
Yep.
I'm sailing away in the morning. Love that song.
listening to that. I'm wearing a white denim jacket that says Thrasher on the back,
Oh,
black skinny jeans.
you were
boots.
America, dude. You were
Dude,
America.
I was blending in.
Oh.
You have to like really try and look cool there, or else they just assume you're a fucking backwater American.
Yeah, that's such a sad song too. That's an insanely sad song. That song makes that.
But it reminds you, just walk around, you'd watch the children playing Yogo Bonito, the beautiful game in the streets.
What's Yogo Bonito?
Football,
Oh, they call it Yogo Bonito?
the beautiful game.
Oh, interesting. I like that. Yogo Bonito. So when I didn't go to Spain, I did travel abroad, but I was in Sweden.
Very good.
Yeah, it was cool.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once I came back from that, that was like the longest period of time where I wasn't playing hockey or I wasn't
Right.
a part of of like a team or any of
Right.
that shit. And then it just it was like really weird. And I came back being like, oh, I don't really know who I am. I spent all this time just alone.
Interesting.
And figuring out like, oh, well, hockey's going to be over soon, and then I really don't like New England as much as I thought I did. I think like I love. Don't get me wrong, like, bro, I put up New England against truly any other
I love
region,
it so much.
area. Massachusetts is the best state in the country, but I meant as the New England as a place to belong. I
Yeah.
would say
Yeah.
because a lot of my friends, I mean, they love like they're gonna do the same thing forever,
Every day, forever.
every day.
Yeah.
And that does rule when you're back. But I was talking about this the other day, dude. Like Boston guys, that move out, they think of any reason to go back visit home,
That's so funny.
dude.
yeah.
Isn't it? I'm like, dude. They'll be like, yeah, dude. My parents are moving from DirecTV to Comcast, so I gotta, they need help with the cables and. Yeah, hey, can you watch my cat?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be gone like 6 months. My sister's dog is getting confirmed.
Oh, that's so crazy. I'm going back at the same time because my brother's turning 34 and a half.
Yeah.
So I got to be there for that,
You gotta
dude.
be
You
there.
got to be there for
Dude,
that.
he's gonna miss me. Like, who else is gonna give him a noogie? You know what I mean? Birthday noogies.
Who else is going to drink a bunch of beers with him except everybody
No,
that
I
he
know.
knows?
Dude, the ticket was expensive. It's like last minute, but my mom just got braces, so I.
That's like Harvard.
She needs help flossing.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Say I'm her fucking oldest son.
She just be to help her by going home and then having her cook for me.
Yeah, exactly. I want to walk around the house in my pajamas.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, I'm annoyed. I gotta go home. You know, my dad, he
sucks.
just finished putting the roof on the house, and I gotta see it.
Yeah, no, I need to go home and help vacuum their ceiling.
Yeah, it is funny. No, I think it is a place with like such a specific rhythm and such a specific way of life. And so I remember I flew home after my longest stint in Los Angeles, which was maybe like I went a year and a half without going home.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I have a very transient family. Like my
Ah.
family, we don't have a lot of like ties or whatever. But I still love going home. But I remember I got off the plane and I go to a gas station in Braintree, Cumberland Farms in Braintree.
Nice.
And there was some. You ever walk into the middle
Of a Cumbies? I think I'm home.
of Cumbies and think you're home. And also, I walked into a dispute in Cumberland Farms, which that should be like on the flag in Massachusetts. They should get rid of the flag in Massachusetts. It should just be a dispute in Cumberland Farms. And it was a guy, big, like bald, fucking clearly a contractor or something. And there was like a younger, smaller, skinny kid. And I just walk in, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you don't want to do that, tough guy." And I was like, "I'm fucking home. A guy's getting called tough guy in front of me. This is home." And I remember like, oh yeah, stuff isn't like this in LA.
No.
People aren't having like the mode of disputes especially is so specific there.
Mm-hmm.
And here it's just it seems almost more combative out here.
Oh, it's way more combative.
Yeah.
Because I think it goes from 0 to 60
Yes.
almost immediately out here.
Yes.
Whereas
There's a ramping up.
in Boston, like, everyone's just so quick where you're like, I'll just talk shit a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen, like, very rarely do you see, like, full-blown violence.
Yeah.
Here
No,
you
truly.
will see that quite a bit.
A lot of chirping though.
A lot of chirping,
Did you-
obviously. Just
you-
like, yeah, buddy, what do you brush your hair with a butterfinger? Get outta here.
That video during COVID where the guy is walking by the towny bar and recording. Have you ever seen that? And one of the guys like, "Oh yeah, it's fucking hilarious." It's really like it's like immediate. Like when you see something you don't like. And I think it does. You're kind of right. Like I think it's because of the escalation. Because out there, it's such a normal thing to kind of chirp back and forth. But out here, you don't know who you're talking to.
Well, nobody, like, helps each other with anything.
Right.
In New England,
Oh, I
like,
do, dude.
we help. We will always be there for each other and for people that need help. I mean, we'll make fun of you. Like,
Yeah.
we will mercilessly shit on you for, like, the situation
While
that you're
we're driving
in.
you to the airport.
Yeah, while we're driving.
Yeah,
to the
we'll go. You
airport.
don't have the money for an Uber, you pissy shit. All right, well we're here.
Yeah.
I had an ex-girlfriend got really mad at me because when we started dating, she started to realize like I am always like which this happens now on Instagram. A woman will be like, "I don't know how to hang stuff. Like I'm moving." I'll always be like, "Yeah, I'll do it." For sure. Nothing nefarious. I'm always just like, I'll do it with guys too. Anybody who needs help, I'm generally like, yeah, I'll just do it. If I have time, I'll do it. And she was like, yeah, it just makes me uncomfortable that you're doing this. And I'm like, yeah, because you grew up in like California where you're always like, well, let's hire somebody.
I think once Manson killed all those people, I think everyone was like, I guess we can't.
Staying inside.
That's truly what I think, dude. Once Manson murdered all those people, I think everyone was like, well, I guess you can't trust anybody.
Right.
Because, like, you think about California, I mean, in the past, everyone was like, yeah, we hitchhiked down the PCH.
Right.
Everything was free love. I lived in a shack so I could surf in my 20s. And then, like, Manson decided to
kind of spoil. Yeah,
he spoiled the party.
The CIA decided to let Manson spoil the party.
I felt like there was an air around it. That's my take.
Yeah. There's a book written about it I think it was called Helter Skelter, maybe. But it was basically about how like the CIA most likely or like at least law enforcement just allowed Manson to do whatever he wanted to.
Well, I think in the 60s in California, if I was a policeman in California during the 60s, I think I would also. Hey man, listen, I'm in surf related crimes, okay?
Wait, he's doing what over there?
Yeah, listen. They're doing acid. Well, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Are they underwater?
Is there a board beneath their feet?
Yeah.
I just don't like dealing with
not,
that.
Are they stealing wax? Like I can't. Then I'm not involved. Okay. They're like, Chief, you're the you're the chief.
There are bodies on the ground. He's like on the ground, not in the ocean.
Look, pal, this all sounds pretty exciting. All right, we're going to the opening of Disneyland. I gotta be there.
I gotta be front and center.
I gotta be there. They're telling me they have robots that sing. Guy.
Listen, guy.
Oh,
you think what I do is easy? Wait till there's a shark.
Yeah, wait till there's a shark.
Do I know what to do in that situation? Not really, but I'll figure it out.
You know what? Frankly, everyone in this precinct is giving me a lot of lip.
Sir, there was a third body found in the house.
Oh, third body found. All the girls are 13. Jeez. You guys heard of the Beach Boys?
There's surfers. They're smoking weed out there, dude. Do you not know about this? They're smoking weed on the beach. I gotta get out there.
Gotta get out.
I gotta get out there.
Oh my God! Everyone just needs to chill.
Chill out. You've heard Manson's music, of course, right?
No, is it bad?
It's so good.
Oh, it's really good?
Yeah, look at Your Game Girl is a song. I just got copyright stricken for playing music on the last episode, which is fine. So I can't play it, but if you're listening at home, listen to Look at Your Game Girl by Charles Manson. Tell me it's not good.
Oh yeah, dude.
He's a bad guy. That's a good song.
Well, I think when did he come out with it?
Before all the bad stuff, when he was trying to get in the good graces of the Beach Boys. And you know what? It kind of flipped my perspective on this because like a lot of his actions were seen as being like he was angry. It's almost like a Hitler not getting into art school kind of thing, where he was mad that the Beach Boys never really fucked with him that heavily, so he did all that bad stuff. And I was like, Beach Boys should have given him a second look. And it's not their fault. And I love the Beach Boys, but they should have maybe looked at Charlie a little bit heavier.
Yeah, this is like, well, most people that really become nefarious usually start out as some sort of failed creative.
Isn't it funny, dude?
Kind of true.
It's kind of true. You're not wrong.
Like,
I mean,
a lot of people I know that, like, this is one girl I know. Like, I mean, a lot of people, all like the crazy conservative people,
yeah,
they usually started off by being like, you know, I'm starting this campaign for anti-bullying, and then nobody gave a fuck.
No one gave a shit, and they were like, I think we should close the borders, and everybody's like,
And then one guy with a polo was like, I'll listen to you.
I'll fucking listen.
And I'll give you a lot of money.
I'll listen to the fuck out of
you talk even more.
I love it when my bad opinions get shared back at me.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Dude,
But I think that's like the heart of the conservative movement now is a lot of people that couldn't get traction on SoundCloud.
Dude. Or stand-up Steven Crowder, stand-up comedy.
Bro, I remember watching that a lot. That guy was so bad. Remember Amy Schumer just would roasted him on that show?
Yeah. Well, and it's what's really funny about that is when I was in college, I had a buddy, and nice kid, but definitely conservative-leaning kid, and it's gotten worse as time's gone on. But back then, he was just a kid who was clearly like intrigued by conservative values because he grew up in a nice household, like everything was taken care of. And I think people, when they grow up in those like kind of areas of privilege, when they hear their first kind of like conservative thing, it's like, oh, I don't have to feel bad about this. Oh, wait, I'm actually sick and I don't have to feel guilty about having all this stuff. Let's listen. So he was telling me like, oh, there's this guy, Steven Crowder, coming, and he's really cool because he's like a conservative, but he's a comedian. So it's like, and obviously, especially back then, there was even like
nobody knew shit.
No one knew shit, and also like there was no real conservative, like quote unquote conservative. It wouldn't market itself as conservative. Like even blue collar comedy, it's not like they were getting up there and talking about what they thought about bathrooms. You know, they were just like, I like drinking beer. So he was like, you got to listen to this guy. I was like, oh, I have an open mind. I'll take a listen. I listened to like this thing where he opens with stand up and then does like a sit down with a bunch of fucking dipshits. And I was like, oh, I've been doing stand up for a month maybe. I had such an open mind about all comedy, and I was like, this is so objectively bad, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the only thing people should argue with him about. Dude, stop talking to him about political points. Just keep bringing up the stand-up.
Dude.
It will stop him. I really do believe that.
I'm surprised more people don't.
No, it's great. It's like the people who don't, it's like the Drake beef where they don't bring up him texting 14-year-olds. It's like, guys, we got the ace in the hole here.
Did you get these chairs from the Tate mansion?
Yeah, I stole these from Tate, dude. Tate was throwing these.
No, I meant Sharon Tate, the one who got murdered by Manson.
Yeah, I thought you meant Andrew Tate.
No, dude.
It's the only crossover.
I think they seized most of his assets.
The only crossover between Sharon Tate and Andrew Tate is they would both have these chairs at their place. No, I got these. This really. I just put out on Instagram. I need chairs for a podcast, and this woman hit me up and she was like, "I have a photo studio. These are Polo Ralph Lauren chairs.
Get the fudge out of here.
Yeah, these are Polo chairs. Like, yeah, they were designed by Ralph Lauren, and they were just at.
These don't belong here.
I know, dude. They're so heavy. They're
These
so
need
nice.
to be up in like the White Mountains, maybe an Attitash, New Hampshire resort, dude, next to a crackling fire.
And my dumbass thought I could get these in a Prius. So I show up in my little Prius, and she was like, oh, these are like big, important, solid chairs. And I had to call my buddy Killian from New England.
I love Killian McCaskey.
Who came right away, drove right over there, put him in his bigger car, He's the best.
He's the best. But
He's the best.
that's what I say about New England people. We really will let you hear it.
Yeah.
But we're really soft.
Killian definitely is a prickly sort.
We're all prickly.
Yeah.
But that's what's fun.
Yeah.
Because I think we know how to ride the line without, like, I mean, even if we hurt your feelings, it's like, well, we're also, also towing your car. So it's like.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
You know?
I will. It's almost, you know how I feel about it. I will pay the price by doing kind things to you to talk to you like an asshole. That's how
and I don't
feel.
even think I'm being an asshole. I
Right.
think
But they do.
because I like you,
Right.
you get that. I like you and that we're friends. So this is how friends speak.
I told Killy,
Like if I wasn't friends with you, I wouldn't speak to you like this. I wouldn't chirp you. I wouldn't care.
the best I've ever felt after a horrible thing happened. When I called Killian after my dad died, and I called him and I said, "Hey man, just so you know, like, just wanted to let you know, like, my dad died." And he took a second, he took a pause, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm having kind of a bad day too." He was like, "Yeah, my boss was being an asshole." Like, yeah, like immediately.
Yeah.
The first thing he said, there was no like, "Oh, that sucks," and then let's work into the joke. It was right away, and it made me feel so much better, dude.
Yeah.
I felt so much better.
That's way better. Yeah, you just call him and he goes, "Hey, well, how about how's Killian? How are you? How's your day?"
That he said he did. He was like, you just want to talk about yourself right now,
That is
man?"
kind of a crazy way to start. I would have
Oh,
probably said the same.
It's so fucking funny, dude.
Or he just goes, "Yeah, this could have been a text."
one of our very, very good mutual friends died of an overdose, and he called me about that one, and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, this
We saw it coming.
yeah, no surprise here."
We did all we could.
We did all we could.
Truly did all we could.
We did all we
And
could.
We're from New England, so you know that actually meant something.
Yeah, it's true.
We
but
didn't just like post an Instagram that said like, "Hoping for the best."
hopefully, yeah, I will post an infographic about the issues of heroin.
I had a buddy who's a firefighter back in Boston posted an Instagram of a house on fire. And the caption was, "Great day with the boys." I shit you not, dude. It was a slide, so the next slide was him on the it was a selfie of him on the ladder.
Oh
like,
my fucking that's literally like a doctor being like, "Yo, surgery today," and there's like a body with an open cadaver.
It actually is. That's exactly the same thing. And I'm like, I don't think it was a great day for everybody.
Open heart, baby, let's go. Imagine your house burned down, and like your kids need to decide whether or not to bring your kids to a new school, and then you go on Instagram and you just see that guy.
Well, bro, I've been like trying to use this as like a bit because like my feeling is like, yo, I know we let fucking after COVID we let nurses just pop their pussy on TikTok or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that's good. I think
that's fine. But
nurses have been repressed for too long. I feel.
Firefighters, I know all the firefighters are not good people. We cannot.
You think they get a little bit too good of a rap?
No, I mean they're not like bad. They're not good people though. Like,
right.
I mean they hang out with dudes 48 hours a day. If you let these guys get a couple followers on Instagram, you're gonna start seeing some questionable content.
Right. Well, and everybody, the big line with firefighters is that they're sexy. And that they are like a good, as far as first responders go, are superior to cops because they don't have as much baggage as police officers do.
I just can't wait to see like, fucking, it's like a family wrapped in blankets on their front lawn, their entire livelihood gone, and then my buddy fucking Smitty's just with a tiny mic like, "Yo, gay son, thought daughter."
I was just about to say.
"Yo, what's your body count?"
What's your body count? And they were like, "Well, I just lost my son." It's like, no. I mean,
not in the house. I meant like how many people you smash.
This is for TikTok.
Would you
man.
smash me? Rate me 1 to 10. They would. You think they wouldn't? They would.
Yeah, they. Well, it takes a particular kind of person, right, to run into a burning building. Mm-hmm. There is a level, I believe.
They get stoked on tragedy.
Yeah, right. And we need those people. That's the thing, is like you can say all you want about, like, which I do think it probably does cause problems in other parts of your life if you live such a high octane, like where like any time you get a phone call, it's like, hey, you need to risk your life right now. That's a very specific kind of person that would do that. Like man or woman, whoever is doing that, it's like, there's a very specific thing going on in your brain if you're willing to do that sort of thing. But yeah, it probably would also add. I would guess that you have maybe a little bit less sensitivity when it comes to
everything.
Like your life is just at this like high.
Yeah, their brain is just full of that thing that you need to be a great firefighter and a hero, but it's not. It's too full. There's not enough room for content creation, you know.
yeah. Not enough room for like being tactful with your content.
Imagine
creation.
like just sliding down the pole. Get ready with me.
While
Billy,
there is
Billy, get in the fucking car.
Bill, 1 second, I gotta reshoot this.
This is my helmet. This is from Aritzia.
It is. I mean, firefighters though, not I get your point, but dude, every time I see a firefighter like doing firefighter shit, like there was a dude who took a digger walking across the street outside of where I get food, and I think he was nodding off or something. He just slammed his head on the ground. And like a firefighter showed up, and everybody was freaking out. Like all us dumbasses were just like, "What?" And firefighter showed up. He was like, "Get out of the way, move. Hey, look at my fingers." I just knew exactly what to do, and I was like, "Damn, that does. I am a pussy. That guy is cool as hell."
I wanted to take the fire test. I was going to be a firefighter if this comedy thing did not work out.
Yeah, I could see that.
I was honestly just going to keep doing comedy and then be like, well, for 72 hours, I can't do it.
I was looking at how to be a volunteer firefighter like 2 weeks ago.
I think that only applies, though, if you're in places
that need volunteers. I know, it doesn't really make sense in L.A.
I read a very nice article today in the paper about Alta, this place in Utah, which is like an old school ski mountain, and they brought back the old one-room schoolroom for all the kids that live there year-round.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like almost teared up in the diner reading this. I'm like, they're getting a real education, damn it.
Oh, so one-room schoolroom meaning what? That they just have like
there's
teachers?
Like 3 teachers, and they teach every grade, like K through 12, I think.
Yeah.
Like because all the kids that live there, you got to think like it's probably only 90, maybe even less.
Yeah.
Like people that like family, like kids that live there year round.
It's tough. It's tough when you don't have enough kids to fill it. Because like my girlfriend from a really small town, and she had like a insanely small graduating class. And when I went to middle school, I had 8 people in my grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I went to public middle school after that. But how many people where did you go to school?
I went to BC, like high school.
BC High?
I went to BC High.
Oh, and you didn't go to? Did you go to the college?
No,
you weren't a double eagle.
Thank God, man.
Yeah,
those people suck.
Yeah, the double eagles.
No, not even double eagles. Just anyone who went to BC for the most part. They kind of blow.
Yeah, I mean, there's a kind of there's like a kind of New England. The term is lace curtain Irish person. Like well-to-do Irish people who've just had like a preppy button-up, like everything's been given to them, who do suck in such a specific way.
It's really bad.
Even and not to shoehorn your topic in, but even the way they have fun sucks.
Explain.
Like I've known very preppy New England people where their idea of like having a good time is like drinking really fast and then just saying fucked up things to each other, but not fun fucked up stuff. It's just like they let the evil demon that lives inside of them out, and that's having fun for them. It's like getting on although I will say this, getting drunk on a boat is sick. I've done it once before. It's
only once?
One of the coolest. Yeah, only once.
Bro, I mean that was every summer, bro. Not my boat, but I mean,
that's what
I finagled away onto so many boats.
You've worked your way onto a boat,
brother. I think that's like one of the. That's how you know you're like, maybe I can do comedy full time.
Yeah.
If you're such a good hang that you can get your way onto like multiple boats,
you got to find yourself on a boat before you really go, I have a personality.
Yeah, really. You got to find your way on the boat. We got to like, this guy needs to be on our boat.
But I just remember like the rich kids in my town. Like I would go to their parties and it would just be like so incredibly lifeless. It would be like everybody is doing the things that you would do to have fun. Like they're playing music, they're getting drunk, all that stuff where it's like, oh, this should be fun, and then it's just not because they're bored. Like
they're bored.
They're bores. They're just fucking bores. All of those people. I don't know. Like, and I grew up near the coast, so it's also like sailor folk.
Sailing.
It's rough out there, dude.
I feel that, man. No, I mean, there was a time, I remember one incident at my high school. There was this kid that had gotten like an argument with like another black kid, and this was like one of those well-to-do preppy Irish kids.
Yeah.
He took off his watch and he goes, "You'll never make this amount of money."
Hilarious.
Crazy thing to say to somebody.
Do you remember what kind of watch it was?
No, but he got his ass beat.
Let's go. They should have stolen the watch, too.
Yeah, there was a bunch of, but BC High was good, dude. I liked it. There was a lot of kids, and there was a lot of, by the time you were a senior, everyone kind of, I don't want to, I really like to use the term frat sparingly, but
Sure.
It felt like a fraternity where you're like, we're all kind of on the same team. There weren't really any, like, bad guys.
That's great. Yeah, and I think that can exist. Like, I think the words frat and broy, I think even the people who use them, like, often kind of get tired of them and realize that it is. But the reason those words exist is because they do speak about a very specific kind of person.
Yeah,
that
but I don't even think that's, I mean, I think that's kind of going away now. I think its peak was probably around 2012, 2013.
Completely.
I just, yeah, I don't really think people like really care that much. I mean, I wasn't in a fraternity, but I mean, people look at me and just automatically assume.
Yeah,
which is I understand.
I mean, one of the I've always kind of dressed 2 ticks away from that, where people don't immediately pin me as like a broy guy. But when I first moved to LA, dude, I was clean shaven, tight haircut, and me and my friend would bring kettlebells to open mics because I mean, you know this. It's sometimes, especially out here, you go to an open mic and you'll spend 2.5 hours waiting to get pulled out of the bucket.
You thought, let me get a pump,
and I did.
That's
dude.
Fucking awesome.
We brought kettlebells, and he would bring dumbbells to open mics, and we would like work out in public set, like on the sidewalks, or like sometimes in the hallways of open mics.
And you're like, I don't know why they were stereotyping me,
dude. No, I
want to be stereotyped.
I
want to be classified.
Well, there was a part of me, like I think there's a part of every comic in this way where it's kind of this like, if someone tries putting you in a box, you just kind of will double down on it and be like, fuck you if you don't like it. So I did feel when I first moved here, maybe there was a bit of like boxing me in and being like, oh, this guy is like whatever, he dresses like kind of preppy-ish and so we're just good. And I was like, all right, well, fuck you, I'm bringing the kettlebell to the open mics.
Yeah, you're right.
Have you ever been to the Clubhouse? Do you know where that is?
No.
There's 2 stages. One is like the main one, and then we would do a mic in the smaller one, which is up these flights of stairs. So you go up a flight of stairs, there's a hallway, then you go in the door. So while the mic was going on, we would just take the kettlebell and walk up the stairs, and then walk down and do farmer's carries up and down the stairs. And they came out and they were like,
"That's
you guys."
crazy.
This dude was so mad, and he was like, you guys have 2 choices. You can stop that right now, or you can get out of here. And I was very much like, you could have just said, hey, do you guys want to stop? And we would go, yeah. But it was just like, there's something about pissing that guy off where it's like, does he have a right to say don't work out here? Absolutely. But there's clearly something else going on there which makes him double hate us, which makes me want to double down and go, fuck you, I'm working out at your mic.
Good.
There's also a thing where it's like, I don't know, is it the worst thing in the world to exercise in public? Why have we decided that so bad? If I see someone vaping in public, I don't go like, oh my God, I can't believe. And that, it has a smell to it. It's like whatever. It's actually like invading my space.
Yeah, but I think people smell bad enough. Do you really need them sweating too?
I guess that's a good point. But I think, no, I probably did smell bad. I was going to fight what you just said, but actually that was my ego talking. You're right. I probably was a little
smell
stinky.
bad. Because I know if I was like busting out 20 push-ups every 5 minutes.
Oh, we were doing so much more.
I would reek.
Yeah, we probably did smell pretty bad. That's a good point. Like, I gotta say, you make a really good point there.
Thanks, bro.
But what are
you pulling up on YouTube right now?
We're pulling up the TikTok.
You have too many
No, we got
what TikTok?
See, the thing about me that was for the last episode that I did with Dorian Electra, which everybody listening to this. This is the video I wanted to pull up for you.
Goggins?
Yeah, we gotta. So the topic you brought to me, we can get into it right now. Is you said you want to find more happiness in your life?
No, I didn't say that.
What did you say?
Life isn't about happiness. Life's about having finding truth and beauty. Okay.
Wait, go on. Explain.
I read Brave New World recently.
On the way over here?
No, like few months ago.
A few months ago, because you texted me, and
I said I want to have more fun.
You want to have more fun.
That's not the same thing.
Okay, that's fair. You want to have more fun.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, dude. Finding happiness is just you're never gonna. If you're like, I want to be happy, it's like, dude, I'd rather like search for the truth and beauty in this world.
But then where does fun come into that?
Stuff like kind of just like letting your mind not worry about shit and just being like, you know what? I'm gonna go get a donut, and then I'm gonna walk my fucking roommate's dog, and if I see, maybe it's all like this is all food related, but like.
If I see another place I can get a donut,
if I see another place, I'm gonna get nice coffee. But I mean, like fun, as in, just kind of not worrying about little things. If, like, say I didn't do certain stuff, I'm a very disciplined guy.
Yeah.
However, I tend to beat myself up when I don't meet the standards that I've set, which are I feel as though very high. But that doesn't make I feel happy.
Right.
But like to chase happiness. You're never gonna.
But isn't now not to push back, but isn't looking for fun just its own way to find happiness?
I think you could find more truth in the happiness and in the fun.
You find more truth in the fun.
Yeah.
Wait, explain.
I'd say like if I was just, for example, I like to play pickup roller hockey.
Great.
On Saturdays and Sundays, and that's fun for me. And like the truth in that is just I'm able to again shut my brain off, and I find the truth of just like. I guess I could say working hard and, like, having a great time. And then there's beauty, the beauty of, like, just fucking being with a group of guys or girls, whoever's there that day.
Right.
And coming together and just letting it all hang out, trying your best.
Okay, so now I feel like I have a pretty robust understanding about what you're referring to. And now let me tell you why I think that maybe there's a little bit I think there's a war in certain circles on happiness, and I think the David Goggins crew is a part of that. Let's take a quick look at this.
Did I take Goggins' side, unbeknownst to me?
Yeah, just say first of all. So this is
just say no.
This is my issue with that.
He needs to have a donut.
A, he needs to have a donut. A, just say no. And B, it's like when you're talking about like deeper meaning and deeper truth and stuff. I do respect that, and in a way I do agree and live my life like that. But I think that's because. With guys like, because I do also find a lot of similarities with you. I'm like very driven, very like goal oriented, very motivated.
Yeah.
But I think we got this messaging through whatever it was, like stoicism or whatever, that like happiness is this like trite, frivolous thing. But I don't think that's necessarily true.
No, I think you can be happy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, chasing happiness isn't really what you want to look for. Isn't what you want to chase. Because I think that's more of a byproduct.
Interesting. Okay, so you're saying chasing things like truth.
Yeah, or beauty.
Chasing beauty.
Truth and beauty. All I know is I reread Brave New World, and...
Okay, we're bringing that up again.
Yeah. You remember that book?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they all just said, like, there's no room for... Everyone's happy.
But that's not happiness though, and that's Aldous
No,
Huxley.
it is happiness because
No.
you're content. You're happy.
You haven't, and it's fine. But you haven't read the greater works of Aldous Huxley like I have. See,
fuck.
Yeah.
You about to go off on me right now?
I'm about to go. I'm about to go the hell off. No, he was Aldous Huxley was actually a really, really interesting guy. Where he was more of a philosopher than a writer. Like he was very, very much into philosophy and like deeper meanings and stuff like that. But the reason, to me personally, now there's a lot of different, and when art gets put out there, people make their own interpretations. But personally, I don't think drugging yourself is happiness. I don't think that like endless sex and the hedonic treadmill is happiness. However, I think if you change your calibration to a deeper form of happiness, then chasing happiness becomes like totally fine. But we were talking a little bit about like hedonism, and like there's a big hedonism aspect to A Brave New World where it's like we give people basically like a morphine drip of all the shit they could possibly want.
Soma, yeah.
Oh yeah, Soma, and like all the sex you want and all that stuff. But you still find this discontentment in people because when you keep going on that treadmill, it like will inevitably have to ramp up to a point where you can't meet your needs anymore.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not happiness. That's this sort of like hamster wheel of hedonism.
Yeah.
But if you're actually thinking about like with me, like I talk about this a lot, unfortunately, because it's very fucking annoying. But it's like when I meditate more, like I don't like to do it. Like it sucks. Like this morning, I didn't even finish it because I was like, this fucking blows. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But when I do, I'm able to tap into happiness more. So it doesn't have to necessarily be this like flimsy freebie, like just doing drugs and shit. But it can be this deeper thing where it's like, oh, I just want to experience life in this deeper way.
Yeah, you're content.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're also you're quieting all the noise a little bit.
Being in the moment a little bit more.
Being in the moment. And I think when you're in the moment, what do you find? Truth and beauty.
Donuts.
And donuts.
Everywhere.
Iced coffee.
Do you feel like you chase hedonism quite a bit? Or have you had stints of hedonism?
You know what? No.
No.
You know what? I wasn't really raised. Speaking of your meditating, I've been praying because I can't really afford my waking up app anymore.
Sure.
Or I just kind of can't justify how much it costs.
What kind of prayer are we talking? Straight up calf?
Just straight up calf, dude. What I learned in the old old Boston College high school.
I know. You see the rosary.
Brother, I mean, it's easy. I mean, I don't really do it very well,
yeah.
But I think it's the same thing where you just calm down. And I think you quiet your mind when you just kind of like give in that there might be a higher power or someone else kind of taking care of things.
Yeah,
you're smaller. You're not really that important.
I talk to people out here all the time about this sort of thing, and you sound like such a insane person when you do. To them, you sound insane when you're like, oh no, there's like good stuff in Catholicism. Like
there's tons of it.
Did they go a little far? Did they get a little wonky? Absolutely. They got a little wonky.
But that's any religion.
Any religion.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Gandhi used to touch kids.
Yeah, people.
What was he?
I made some sort of a video where I mentioned Gandhi, and every comment was like, he was the worst guy ever.
Yeah, he wasn't a good guy. None of these. Well,
he did a couple of good things, I think. I think he probably.
As far as I'm concerned, the British should still be in Burma and India.
That'd be so canceling Gandhi, and by doing so, the British come back into India.
Bro, cancel him. I want the British back. I want a world where the sun does not set on the British Empire again. You know the funny thing? I read this article about the British and the Dutch made this trade for this tiny little island in Indonesia at the time. So the Dutch were like, everyone was trading. We're talking about spices here.
Sure.
And this little island was the only island they saw that had produced like these big nutmeg forests. And this island is probably the size of like Catalina Island. It's tiny. And the Dutch traded New York City, the island of Manhattan, for what was that island. And then they realized, oh, wait, you can just grow nutmeg anywhere.
That's
terrible
awesome.
trade.
I love that, dude. I love someone getting fleeced.
They got fleeced so bad.
Yeah. You know who really lost? The people who lived on that little island.
Oh, they snuck. Yeah. They always
got the wrong. It's so funny that the Dutch were like, "Oh no, we fucked up," and the people on the island were like, "Well, guess we're still gonna do this stuff for you guys for free."
We have to. We don't really have a choice.
But yeah, when it comes to talk about the British Empire. Maybe the best example of the fucking hedonic treadmill. They could not and you can see this sort of culturally in British people at the time, where there was this have you ever heard of British blood sports?
No,
dude, they were so crazy. And I don't know if the timelines match up perfectly, but it does kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. They loved just doing horrible shit to animals and making it sports. Like, they would have a game where you would grab a fox by a tail and see how, high you could throw it. They would have games where, they would just tie a bear up and have a bunch of dogs, fight the bear that's tied. Insane shit.
You get a little bored when you're on top.
It's also just this thing where I think that, like they really just kind of sold into the idea where it's like
Could take an Irishman, see how far he could stretch his ears.
yeah, throw the Irishman.
Yeah, throw the Irishman.
Why you don't do that to me?
Yeah.
Why you don't like this? But like, I think it really does show when your goals are strictly like, I guess, physical or monetary or whatever you want to like say. Things get wonky because you don't have like this stable core of like peace with inside you.
Well, I think that comes down to just discipline.
That too, yeah.
I find a lot of my own peace, and I would say peace, but values I say from doing the same things every week and kind of just making sure I'm staying on a routine.
Right.
So that kind of allows you to not think so much. And not really dive into the hedonism. If you're
Right.
waking up every day or most days and going, what am I going to do today?
Right.
You just go, you know what? Fuck it. I'm like, just not give a shit.
But have you experienced the other side
That's
of
what
that?
Sundays are for.
See, but this is what's so funny about it. From afar, when I look at the life of Alec, I go, "Oh, this is a guy who has a good time." Like,
oh yeah,
you're doing jersey swaps at bars.
Fun.
I love that move, by the way. That's a great move. You're going on the road, but when you say you're looking for more fun, I also understand what you mean because I think in New England we have you have fun in a box. It's like, this is what you do for fun. This is what you have. So I guess what I'm asking, because you brought up like playing roller hockey, that's a great thing. But do you think your lack of, or if I can call it a lack of fun, do you think it comes from, and that was awesome. Do you think it comes from maybe like a repression?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm so set on this goal and what we're doing here.
Yes, dude.
That I need to just say, like, hey, you're doing all right.
Mhm.
Things are good. Like, not even go get hammered.
Right.
But, like, hey, just if you want to, like, stay and order a pizza and watch a movie, just do that.
Let loose a little bit.
Let loose a little bit. Or just like the other night, I was like, I'll go, all right, you know what? I don't have a show tonight. I called up my buddy Mark, who's like, we're childhood neighbors. He lives 2 streets away from me now in Culver.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah. So I just like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to go see this girl later, see if she texts me. You want to come over? I'm like, yeah. We ordered a pizza. We drank like 3 beers. And I was like, great. I just went to bed. I was like, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about fun.
Yeah.
Or going to like play roller hockey. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to think I might sign up and do tennis.
That's great.
Like dumb shit like that where I go try new stuff.
But it's so funny because even when you're talking about it, you're saying dumb. That's not dumb. That's getting like a novel experience that you wouldn't have otherwise. But it's like, dude, I'm the same way, like crazy. And I think I see the world in a similar way that you see it too, where I'm like, I look at like whatever people who don't really have like a center of being. I go, oh, they're unhappy because their lives are just hectic and they don't have any direction. But then I look at me and it's like, sometimes you're not a robot either. And sometimes I have too much direction. Sometimes I'm just going on like the straight rail and it's like, there's so much more to experience outside of that. Every time I do, I'm so happy. Every time I do, I'm like, this rocks.
Yeah.
This is cool. But you just get stuck in these paradigms where you're like, oh, I wake up in the morning, I do my writing, I and then I go to bed. And I used to have these dreams of this like monastic lifestyle where I was like, what if I could just like break it down where I'm only working? And it's like, yeah, we're not supposed to do that. I don't think we're supposed to actually have fun.
Well, the Jesuit monks, if you want to go into the monkism.
Yeah. Oh,
but I think those guys do have fun though. They garden, they make beer. They do little things.
Right. There's like little, but then you go.
They also have dinner with each other every night.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Dude, I bet, yeah. Monastery.
There's an order of monks that trains German shepherds.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Or be the guys that make the beers.
Yeah, or the ones who make the jam. Do you know those? And they also do the chants that people listen to while they fuck. Did you know about the Gregorian monks?
That's what people listen to while they
there
slam?
was a very popular thing, I believe it was in the 60s or 70s, where Gregorian monks, this is such a funny story, Gregorian monks came out with these like CDs of their chants, which is kind of unheard of because they would never record what they did. And they did. They were like, we're going to put this on CDs and we're going to share this with the world. We're going to share like our love of God through song with the greater world at large. and people got those tapes and they said, "This is great music to fuck to."
Yeah,
and they started
dude.
doing it. Like, it was a very popular thing in the 70s to listen to Gregorian monks while you had sex.
That rules.
It's so funny.
That really does. That tickles my heart.
It's really, really funny.
And I bet they were stoked too.
Yeah, they were like, "All right, well, sure." Well, because I bet you.
Hey, they probably go, "It's in marriage, right?"
Well, there probably is a little exciting thing to them. Because they're all so monastic, they probably think, "Oh, that's what everyone's doing anyway." Like, that's all people do is they wake up, they they do heroin and they have sex, and they go back to bed.
It would be really interesting being a monk, and then could you imagine the inner monk politics where you're just like, Jeremy did not clean his cloak today. You're like, Bill, like, chill out, okay?
Yeah. Steve keeps sneezing, and it's like, I get it, he can't help it, but it's a vow of silence.
Okay, you guys just want to click up. It's like you, Ignatius, and Steve. It's like, you guys think you're the cool kids here or something?
Yeah,
they probably have like high school politics like that.
Yeah, when Steve chants, he goes, "Oh," instead of "Oh." And
everyone knows I'm supposed to be first tenor, and it's really annoying because
that's definitely. I wonder if that's where they get, like, because they're so egoless, but I wonder if they do get a little ego when they're singing, and they're like, "Damn, that was pretty good."
Father Patrick, I know I'm new here, but everyone's being really mean, okay?
Well, that's why it was a little bit, I mean, I totally understand it, but that's why it was a little bit like, oh, that's interesting when you said that you wanted to, like, do, what did you call it? You said sober from women?
Yeah. Women's babe sober.
You want to be babe sober. What if you're trying to have more fun? What's driving you to do that? Do you think that the babes are making you have less fun?
No, I just think it's a lot to think about. I think about probably like chicks and stuff too much if I'm trying to pursue somebody.
Got it.
And
chicks
you
and babes, 26-year-old
dolls and sluts.
Those are distinct
differences. Dolls, honeys, sugar booger.
I'm not to call you. I just haven't heard chicks in so long.
I say chicks all the time, dude. I love chicks, dude.
All right, man. Hey, maybe you should go.
Bringing it back.
Maybe you should go.
Is that a bad thing to say?
I don't know. No.
Do they not like that?
I would ask maybe.
Nah.
You're not calling them chicks to their face, are you?
Sometimes.
You're like, yeah, beer for me and 2 for the chick. It's a little weirder when you say it directly.
Kind of funny.
It's a little funny.
It's pretty funny.
I
mean, if anyone could pull it off, it could be us.
I think it would be funny.
I could probably, if I was like wearing sunglasses at the bar and the bartender was also a dog, I could be like, hey, 2 for the chicks over here.
Well, a lot of the times it is like we have standards for language, but then it's also like in the real world, it's sort of how someone says something. Like I've heard Southern guys say honey before, and it's totally fine. And then I've heard other guys say honey, and I'm like, you should be fucking put in jail.
I like kind of mixing up the nomenclature.
Yeah,
I'll say doll.
You take risks like that.
Dearie.
Dearie.
I like saying dearie. What's wrong, dear?
That one.
That's endearing.
That's one you could get away with because it's like dearie. That's nice.
Yeah. Hello, dearie.
There's never been a cultural conversation around dearie.
I've been saying to my friends, "What's up, la?" L-A without the D, so I would say lad.
Yeah.
But I've been watching a lot of Premier League soccer TikTok where they tell old stories and like that's how they say.
Me and the lads.
Yeah, they go. What's your problem, la? So I've been saying that. And I think people are like, I'm also trying to incorporate ta.
Yeah.
Instead of thanks, I say ta.
Well, I was talking recently where it's like the song Blackbird, you know, the Paul McCartney song like Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
Sure. Okay.
Apparently that was made about like when they were integrating schools, there were like black women who were trying to integrate. I forget where exactly it was, but he wrote that song basically about integrating schools, and it was like a pro integration song. But it's so funny, like listening back to it, it's like, oh yeah, like the use of the word bird is so funny to me because we heard that. And we were, I think in America, and we were immediately like, that's got to be bad. But I think out there, some of them are like, oh,
I don't think
bird's
they give
fine.
a shit. No,
I don't
they say that. They say bird.
Cunt is crazy out there, too.
Yeah, but they say it almost in a congenial,
Yeah, what's
a
up?
familial way.
Well,
Oh, you daft cunt.
you daft. Yeah, it's usually used towards guys, but I'll say this, and this is a silly kind of embarrassing story, but a little while ago I was like, what's going on with this erotica stuff? So I tried listening to an erotica audio.
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah. I said, what's going on with this? I was driving. I was like,
You're
what's
in the
going
library.
on? What's going on with this erotica stuff? So I tried. And so I just download the first thing on Audible under the like erotica category.
Yeah.
And it was a British erotica, and dude, they say cunt when they're like it's a woman who wrote the book, and she's
Very
like,
nice.
he came and he took his fingers and put them in my cunt, and I was like, whoa, no, it's supposed to be hot. I'm like, imagine being turned on. I was like, this is awful.
Yeah, it's good. No, they're fun.
I don't know about that, but when you're trying to vitalize your fun, when you're trying to like get into this fun ideology, Alec's fun years,
But fun.
when does that coincide with your babe sobriety?
No, I think this is just my fear is almost that, and I think I'm going to probably lighten up come summertime.
Yeah.
But my fear is that I'm just on the road and I'm busy and I'm not really where I want to be, I think, in terms of some of like my new jokes. But then there's a flip side of that where I go, well, when I'm with my friends and I'm having fun, and maybe if I'm dating and I'm having fun, that's probably where the jokes come and new material comes. But that's such a weird reason to want to do it. I fear that if I start seeing somebody and it goes really well, I'm like, fuck, I got to change my life now.
Yeah, but if it's someone who is important to you, then you're going to change it into positive.
I would change it anyway.
Yeah. Also,
but why would I just the attempts though? I'm like, if this isn't a sure thing, why do I care?
well, I've always felt this, and it's like I do think maybe a little break is a good thing, because if you're dating someone and you feel like, oh, this is a distraction, you're probably not dating the right person, or you're not looking at dating in the right way. Like,
I don't think I've ever looked at dating the right way.
Yeah, because if you're looking at it as a distraction, it's like you're probably not seeing a person who's right for you, or you're probably not giving like the right amount of consciousness to the relationship.
And that only happened really like towards the end in Denver with somebody. That where I was like, man, I've like, this is good. This is really good.
I'm reluctant to go into this because when we were in the car ride, and I know,
I think we're done. We're not talking about it anymore.
We're not talking about
it anymore. You know what? It's kind of all feathered out. We're good.
It's all good. I won't talk about that, but I will talk about what happened in the car because it is very funny.
Oh, yeah, you fell asleep. And
no, not that part. That was pretty funny, too. But I asked Alec about this relationship, and when my line of questioning got a little, and I'm a little Snoop, too.
You are Snoop.
You know me.
You're Snoop.
I'm a little Snoop.
You're Snoop, I'm Woodhouse.
When I get a little whiff of vulnerability, dude, I dive on into that.
And just the way you're cusping the mic right now while you say, when I get a little whiff.
When I get a little whiff. Dude, I get excited.
Yes,
man.
keep going, Dr. Drew.
And you started talking about how you were seeing someone in Denver. That's not a Dr. Drew. Oh, that's Dr. Phil. I'm thinking Dr. Phil. I'm getting the doctors mixed up. And I asked you a pretty personal question about it, where I think it was something along the lines of like, what about this person was so special to you? And you went, it's too deep, and I respect that. Do you want to know why? I really do. I hope you don't think I'm making fun of you, because I think that was like an awesome move on your part. It was a great way of setting a boundary where you're like, yeah, I don't want to go any further in this.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Are you good at that in general? Like, are you good at being like, this is kind of my line with talk? Because I don't have that at all.
When talking about
something that's maybe a little too personal that you don't want to get into with somebody.
Well, you know, you got to remember, like, although you are from Massachusetts, so that instantly puts you in like tier 3 of like interpersonal relationships.
I appreciate that.
You know, you need to be on like tier 6.
Yeah,
for me to kind of go there.
Go into there. That I mean, literally what you are describing, probably in language that people aren't used to hearing it in, is like perfect boundary setting. It's really funny.
That's really what it is.
It's like you're using like threat codes.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're probably tier 4 now.
Oh, let's go.
Because
dude.
We've gotten to know each other. But at that point, I was like, yeah, he's tier 3.
We're like code blue right now, but we're about to. If therapy just used this kind of language, guys would go more.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
They just have to no.
Dude, if they were like, dude, this relationship.
They had an ad for guy therapy. Have you heard the ad for guy
what
therapy?
Is it?
It's really funny.
Yeah, it's bad.
No, it's like, and it's a real thing too.
Like dude therapy.
Yeah, I mean the ad was pretty much like, bros, why are you sad?
Hey brother, sit down. That shit's it's so condescending.
You bummed? You pissed?
You pissed or bummed?
You pissed or bummed,
There's
bro?
two states of guys, and it's pissed or
ticked off?
bummed.
You been listening to Limp Bizkit a lot?
Have you had a bad day?
Yeah, you want to break something?
Come on over.
Yeah.
That's so. Have you ever gone?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you go right now?
No, not right now.
That's okay, because you moved from Denver, right?
I moved from Denver. I was seeing somebody in Denver for a few. I changed therapists in Denver. I started seeing this guy. He was great, and then I realized you couldn't like keep the same person. So, no, but I mean, I'm pretty good right now.
Yeah.
I like to think. I definitely feel like there are a lot of times when things feel very overwhelming and I'm very anxious.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, I'll talk this out on Thursday. But I'm glad that I have a really good support system of people that I can call and talk to.
That's great. Yeah, having that, and it's like you're also just at a point in your career that's like both very exciting and also kind of like
scary.
I know for a fact because I'm in kind of the same place. Like when you have to deal with ticket sales and writing your act, like just those two things right there. And there's a bunch of other stuff on top of it, travel, fucking like promotion, all that stuff. But like just those two things are so much to focus on.
Yeah. And
you need to make sure your act is good and you're constantly writing new jokes. Otherwise you can't go back to these cities or like you can't put out another thing. It's frustrating. And finding fun within that because I mean, there's just this old guard of comedy that I think about a lot. Like Doug Stanhope's one of my favorite comics. Has always been one of my favorite comics. And talk about a guy who like understands fun almost a little bit too much. But it's like back then, I think comics maybe were just a little bit more fun. Like they weren't because they didn't have to also be small fucking business owners.
Yeah.
Dude. Like so, getting your mind out of that like mindset of like, oh, I have to work, like, it's all da-da-da-da-da. It's like, also just being like, oh, right, I'm a performer. I need to have novel experiences for people to want to listen to me.
And I think it's easy to remember that when you are disciplined for, like, most of Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
I find that I get a lot of my stuff done by, like, writing, admin. Most of that pretty much gets done by, like, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday. And then you have sets, and then I also still work part-time at this climbing gym.
Right.
Like, which I don't, but it's great. And
just for content generation.
It's kind of I'm just kind of seeing it out until the gym eventually folds. I think eventually it's going to just go into bankruptcy, but I do like working out for free.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Oh, my God. Being able to work out for free is so huge.
And if you're like, oh, I want to rock climb, you go rock climb.
Yeah.
It's also a very hot place to take dates.
Oh, dude,
a lot of harnesses.
I used to
ropes.
It's so funny. This is like insane. I've done two insane moves on first dates. One is, and I'm gonna tell you this, and you're gonna maybe people listening won't understand how crazy this is, but you will. I took a first date to a show once that I was on, a benefit show for dogs. Maybe a little better.
Were there dogs there?
There were dogs there.
Okay, yeah, that's a little better.
There were a couple really nice ones too.
If there are dogs there, then I think you're all right. But I think just first date to a show. No.
You would think that, but I wasn't even thinking about. Truly, I was not like, oh, I'm going to impress this girl with my stand-up. I have never been that confident about my stand-up ever. But I was just like, oh, I'm doing this tonight. Do you want to come? And she just ended up being like, yeah. And then I show up, and the dogs are barking the whole show, and I had to do stand-up for the first. She had never seen any of my stuff. Had to do stand-up in front of this woman for the first time with dogs just going. It was awesome.
Yeah, and you go, this is my life.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Are you ready, baby? And she was like, no.
Don't think so.
I don't think I'm ready for this.
I have to use the bathroom really quick. I got to pee.
Take a piss. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here with the beautiful folks. I'm going to get the Reddit question up. But you rip it, dude. You're way too hydrated. When you come back, we got to talk about the bottle you got real quick. No, let me grab this for you people. So, Alec got this. This is let's see what we got here. A Bajork Kappa. That's the make. I'm trying to read it right here. I think this is about 3 or 4 gallons. Alec drinks about 5 of these a day. And not to do product placement, but this is a solid bottle. This is the kind of bottle you could end someone's life if you really cracked them across the skull with it. The bottom says, made of 18 by 8 food grade stainless steel. Did you know that about that? Now, can I ask you this? Because I know you're a man who has an infatuation for public urination. Is that just to fuel your...
I really do love it.
You love pissing.
I love pissing, dude.
When we were on the
I'm
way
a
up
little
to
piss boy,
you
dude.
love pissing. It's
not a going problem, it's a growing problem.
and it's not.
Remember those commercials?
Oh yeah. Well, and it's not like
Because this is how much water I drink. Ready?
go for it, dude. And we're dripping, and that's okay. The mouth is a little too wide, really.
It is, and I have to use both hands.
You got to use both hands, which honestly has a kind of a childish quality that I enjoy.
I feel like a baby.
Yeah, it's nice. But when we were on our way up to San Francisco, I was just sitting in the passenger seat, and you were putting gas in the car, and then I turned, and you were just pissing broad daylight.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I like that. Maybe that's your form of fun, dude.
I'm kind of just addicted. I just think I like the rush.
You like the rush. You're being a little bit of a bad boy.
I like to commit crimes that a cop might see and go, "Hey, knock it off."
Yeah, right. You don't
knock
want
it off.
I'm not gonna ruin. The cop's gonna be like, I'm not gonna ruin my day over this, but knock it off.
Yeah, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm sorry." And he goes, "Yeah, don't do that."
And you're
someone like that.
Yeah. That's great. I think that's a good level of crime threshold.
Yeah, because in LA. You are driving a lot of long distances, so sometimes you go to a gas station.
No
there might not be a bathroom.
Never. It's always
So,
out of order.
I mean, if I'll just open up the passenger side door, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm getting something in my glove box," and then just rip a piss.
I love that, dude. That's strong.
Nobody says shit. If someone says something to me, I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you own this gas station?"
Right. And no one. And just for the listeners, no one's seen your hog.
No,
The hog is concealed.
no, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not spraying.
Right.
This is a concealed carry.
All right, we have one thing that I wanted to get to from Reddit.
Okay, great.
Hey, Reddit, how do you make your life more exciting / fun, especially on a budget? I'm a student at the moment, and I feel as though I need to do something. I don't know, different. I'm tired of school in my life right now. Seems so repetitive. What do some of you do to make your life more exciting and fun? And we got some, and I just want to do a preference here. The advice on Reddit is not always great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not really good at Reddit.
Say yes to everything. That's the first answer. Say yes to everything.
That was a movie. With
Is
Jim,
that it?
with
Oh,
Jim
yes,
Carrey.
yes, yeah. What was it called?
Yes
Man. And that's not a good piece of advice.
No.
Your friend wants to go to a bar, hitch a ride, chip in $1 or $2 for gas, get yourself a drink that you nurse, and then just enjoy the hangout. Yeah, sure, mate. I mean,
These are way too many.
yeah. Sometimes
You know what the crazy thing is? Someone wrote out 5 paragraphs thinking, I really helped this guy out.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit.
No one cares.
I bet this guy wouldn't pick him up from the airport.
I think you're right. Be generous.
This is all just self-aggrandizing, dude.
This one seems counterintuitive, but if you buy other people things within reason, you will have more fun and surprisingly spend less money in the long run. That's just not true at all.
Let me just sum this up, dude.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to have more fun? What are you, in college? You don't have a lot of money?
Yeah,
Go join one of the many clubs on campus.
absolutely.
Easy.
Absolutely.
Like, even just do Glee Club as, like, just a bit.
Hey,
that would be
Have you
funny.
clubbed it up in college? Were you
Oh,
a
yeah,
club
I
guy?
was in club hockey.
Club hockey. I did movie club.
That's awesome.
I had just quit track. I wasn't doing shit. I had just started stand up, and there was movie club, and I just walked into this room, and they were like, "Hey, we're watching No Country for Old Men. Do you want to hang?" I said yes. We watched first time ever seeing No Country for Old Men. Blew my fucking mind. And then they were like, "Hey, we're watching Tokyo Gore Police after this. Do you want to watch that?" I said yes. Grossed me out, but it was so fun.
There you go. Many clubs and things to do on campus.
If you're in college, go to a club.
Intramural sports.
Yeah.
Don't have to be good. Doesn't matter.
Do not say yes to everything.
Don't say yes to everything.
Absolutely don't say
But
yes
there's
to
a
everything.
lot of really easy, free resources in college that you can do.
Also, it's just like,
Or get a longboard.
get a longboard.
That's easy because then that makes just going to class a little bit easier. Granted, you're gonna look like kind of a spoon, but
You're gonna look like a bit of a spoon, but that's okay. Look like a spoon from time. How about that? Look like a spoon from time to
look
time.
like a spoon. Doesn't matter.
So moving forward,
Read a book. Waking up every day, or being able to just read a little bit of a book every day, lets you disassociate.
it is nice.
You learn something.
What are you
or
reading right now?
I'm reading Trouble Boys, the story of the band The Replacements.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Now, moving forward, what steps do you think you're going to be taking in having more fun? This is the prescriptive part of the podcast. Can you sit here right now and say, I will do this?
Maybe dating more. Maybe
Great.
dating. Maybe I'll get back out there.
Maybe dating in a way where you're like, this isn't taking away from my life, but I'm having fun
where
with
I
it.
just don't have any expectations.
Yeah.
I just think lowering expectations. And then I think I'm going to get into the tennis thing, and I think just keeping up going to roller hockey when I can.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
nothing too crazy.
That's perfect. No, I think a simple thing like that is way better than like I'm gonna fucking join a marching band. It's
I know. I keep saying I'm gonna do a cooking class, and then every time I look at it, and I go,
dude, I keep saying I'm gonna go to a dance class. I'm gonna learn how to dance. Never. I've been saying that for 3 years.
Yeah, never
Can't
gonna do it.
Can't do it. I'm too stiff. Anyway, thank
probably
you.
Those pants, dude. You double starch those bad boys.
These things are tight. I will be honest. These things are far too tight. But thank you for joining, man. I'm gonna plug all the stuff in the beginning. But is there anything you want to say to close out?
Guys, keep supporting Dan.
Oh, come on.
He's a great guy, and
Appreciate
I love him.
That means a lot. I love you too, buddy. Thank you so much. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.